whenever you launch instance, right, you will see there will be one option is called launch instance from template. And this template will be more useful whenever you are working on the creating the servers very frequently, the similar servers and more similar servers you need. And you can create the templates and use that template to do that. So whenever template is very useful, whenever you are going to create a server with some specific configurations which is already being as part of the requirement is set up, you can immediately go and use the template to spin up the server immediately. Okay, if you go without the template, what you have to do, you have to go to the launch instance and then you have to choose you have to give a name and you have to choose the particular specifications, what flavor of operating system you need, what is the architecture, what is the instance type, what is the key pairs, and what are the network settings. Everything you have to do manually and then launch instance. It will take quite some minutes, right? Quite some time to create the instances. But in case of template, what happens? It will be just create the instance. You have to give a name and it will create an instance for you. Let me explain you how it works. If you go to this left hand side of this EC2 dashboard, EC2 section here, you'll find one launch templates, right? Click on this.
What is template?
Yeah, so template, that's a good question. The template actually it's an instruction file. It's actually a recipe. Like it's kind of the instructions is given what is required for particular task to be executed. Suppose you are spinning off a server, you are starting a server, you are creating or provisioning a server. Suppose you are provisioning a server. What you need for the server, for that particular, what is your requirement? All these instructions will be there in the template.
Okay.
It's kind of a template file or instructions provided in the template, what is required for particular task to be done. You need to provision a server, what is required for you to provision a server, everything will be there. So now you can see I have already a few templates available here. Okay, few templates available here. So let me delete these templates. Okay, to delete, just select this templates and delete template. You have to type delete. Let me quickly delete and we'll create new templates.
These templates are come as new, right? Before 2 years, there was no template. Now they have started it.
Sorry?
Template kind of actions in easy to spin up. This is new to this one, right? It came recently. Before 2 years, it was not like that, I guess. We have to spin up our own.
Okay. No, I think template was there before. You might not have seen that one. It was there before. It's been more than 2 years. I have seen these templates are there and I have been used there. Okay, the templates are there. So the templates is actually it's not more than 2 years. It's before that also it was there because it is also been required as part of our auto scaling and load balancing stuff, right? And that time also we need the templating things to be used. So it was there before. You might not have noticed it.
I think I haven't noticed it.
Yeah. Okay. So this launch template, what you'll do, this templating, just you have to go ahead and create a template. This is very useful, guys. You have to just remember and see how I am creating this template and using it, and that this template is most required for the auto scaling concept. Whenever we are going to use the auto scaling service to learn auto scaling service, that time we need this templating things to understand first. Okay, how the template works. Now, if you see here, EC2 launch templates streamline, simplify, and standardize the instance launches. What it says? Use launch templates to automate instance launches. So this template, as I said, whenever you manually create launching a server or provisioning a server, you have to specify the requirement. Based on your requirement, you have to specify the things first. OS, type of instance, networks, everything you have to specify and then do that. Suppose you need 10 servers to be created with the same configuration. With the same configurations, if you need 10 servers to be created, it's better to create a template and execute that template to execute the 10 servers. Or if you need immediately in some future time, sometimes you need the same servers to be created again and again, you can use this template to be used. So use launch templates to automate the instance launches, simplify permission policies and all the things you can get it. What it does, and enforce best practices across your organization. Save launch parameters in a template that can be used for on-demand launches. If you have a demand immediately comes and you want to launch or provision a server, you can immediately use this template to launch it. And with managed services, including EC2 autoscaling and EC2 fleet, easily update your launch parameters by creating a new template versions. You will see all this versioning and everything today. Okay, and it uses in the EC2 autoscaling. Okay, for automatically scaling up and down. We'll see all this. Yeah. Autoscaling, we have a different topics itself or services we have yet to learn. It will take one day of time to completely finish the autoscaling and all. Now, what is the benefits and features? It is given like streamline provisioning, simplify permissions, governance, because you can monitor, you can do the auditing and all these things, you can find it over there. Okay. Now what happens here? The create launch template is very simple. Just create launch template. And what you have to do here is give it template name. Okay. So how you will give this template? Suppose you are working for, so whatever I'm just telling you, everything should be scenario based and use cases as per your requirement, as per the company. Whenever you go and join to a company to work, that things you have to keep in mind and create it. So every company has a policy, every company has a standard to follow, right? Suppose the template, there should be a naming convention to each template you create. Then you have to give a template name based on that project name. Suppose my project name, suppose I'm going to work for a finance project to finance, and something called finance, like APP, finance app, something like I gave the template finance app. Then template version, okay, the template version description, just give a template version description. Suppose a dev template, or you can just simply whatever you are, just write, it's up to you, the descriptions. I can type dev template for development template. This is a development template, and this is required. I'll just tell you later. The template tags, if you want to give a tag, that is for tagging, just give a name. Same thing, if suppose give name, give suppose dev server, something like that. On the source template, if you have already a template existing, you want to source it, then you can select the template. As I deleted all these 3 templates, I don't have anything to source it. It is a fresh new template we are creating. We are not going to source from any template. If you feel a template which is already existing and you want to just replicate it and just do some modifications, source it and modify it. Okay. Now here we have to provide the launch template contains what you have to add it. Suppose your application and OS images here, you have to add it. What you need to do it here. The OS image, machine image, what you have to provide it here. Go to the quick start. Suppose I need Amazon Linux to be added here, and this is the feature, this particular image I need. And what we have to do, that we have to select the architecture, any architecture. Similarly, whenever you are launching template, whatever you select, you have to select it here. Instance type, suppose T2 micro, and whatever based on your requirement you have to select. The key pair, right? Suppose I use this one, or you can create a new one. Networking, don't include launch template. If you want to include in the launch template, you can include it, or if you want to not specify anything, you can just add don't do that. Okay, security groups, suppose let me add the security group as lamp sc here. And advanced network, if you want to modify anything, you just want to modify it here. And the EVS volume, by default it is taking the 8 GB RAM, as it is a Linux machine, 8 GB RAM. If you want to add new volumes, you can add it. That's all, let it be there as it is. Okay, now what do you do? All these things I added as part of the template. Okay, now create launch template. So it is created successfully. Template called finance-app. Now let's go to the view launch template. I have a template is created. Remember, if you create a first time the template, the default version will be 1. Default version is 1 and latest version is 1 also, right? Created time and created by whom it is also given. Now, if I just go to this template, you will find lots of other options. AMI ID. What is the AMI ID is being used for this template? Instance type, security group, keep a name, availability zone based on the availability, it will automatically take. I have not selected anything, any subnet, right? So it will take. So if you want to add specific subnet, then you have to add while creating the template. The storage, everything, all there. Network interfaces, advanced details, everything will be there. Okay, this is, and the versions. If you see here the version, this is the default version. Yes, name, everything is given. Now, if I go to our template is ready and created. If you want to run or create any instance, so what you can, so let me just stop this one. So I don't need this to be run now. Stop. Okay, good. Now what I need to launch instance. So if you go and create here, launch instance from template. I'm not directly using launch instance to create manually. What I can do, I have automated now. I can go for launch instance from template. Click it here. Okay. So you have to select a template. You see, when you create, automatically it will come here and it has a template ID also. This one, the template ID, and template select and the source template version. Okay, as I have only one version available, so it is giving only default one, dev template default one is there. Okay, now this one version is there, so all those details, AMI catalog, so you can find it, what are the instance details, everything is there, instance type, and if you want to also modify anything to the template, you can modify it here. Okay, I'm not going to do anything, only simply I selected the template, and what are things are given in this template are everything is here, everything is given here itself. I don't have to do anything, simply select the template, launch instance, that's all. You don't have to do anything. See, I have initiated the launch of instance, and if I go and check this, server is started now, it's created, right? Now refresh it, it's just starting the server. Okay, now what happens here, this server is running and is having instance type T2 micro. Now, and all these things is given here, right? All this data, like normally how we provision a server, how we create a machine, everything is here. If you see it here, all these informations are there. We can get this public IP to connect the servers. It's simple. It's very simple to create a template. Now, tomorrow you need to upgrade the template. Suppose there is a new requirement to create another template. Okay, the same for finance department. For finance applications, you have to get another instructions, another template. What you can do, simply let me modify the template. I'll just show you and how it works actually. Now what I'll do, I'll just this one, go to the action. Okay, or else what you can do, select this one action modify template. So whenever you modify a template, what will happen? It will create a new version. It will create a new version. The first version is 1, the second version will be 2. The new versions will be 2. Okay, now let's go ahead and modify the template. Suppose I need this template, and you can give a template descriptions also, right? I can give dev template. I can give suppose the description should be specific to that particular version. Suppose I need this particular template application is for T2 nano. This is having T2 nano, right? And I can give a descriptions. The rest of the things, if you want the rest of the things to be, you can easily source it from the default version which is already there. If you want to source it, right? Because it is already being modified, so you don't have to source it by default, it will source it. Now what I'm going to do, instead of T2 micro, let me change to T2 nano, and rest of the things let it be there. I'm just giving a demo to show you. Now let's go ahead and create and modify the template. So what will happen? It will just create a template version. It will not create a new template. The same template name will be there, but it will create a new template version. And the selected security group is only valid when launching the classic networking. Okay. So what happens? You have to change a group that has the scope. Okay. I don't need this security group. I can just create any one. The demo is something like that. Okay. So a new version is created now. So what will happen here? If I go to the templates and check it here, I have only one template. The same name is Finance App. Here if you see the versions, default version is 1, but latest version is 2. The latest version is 2. So if you go and check all these details here down, if you find here we have, let me just click this one, and you'll see the template ID, a name, a version, and here if you see check details, either you can go to the version section here, you can find the details, version 2, version 1. What is the difference? Here the descriptions, and the differences you will find it when you suppose you have selected version 1 and it is being used for T2 micro. If I choose version 2, it will change to T2 nano, right? So suppose there is a requirement comes, think about the use cases. There is a requirement comes and you need to create the machines of T2 nano, right? So what you can do instead, you can just go and go to the instance launch from instance from template, and here select the template. As we have the finance template, suppose tomorrow there could be multiple templates you will have. You have to choose the template accordingly based on your requirement. Okay, so here it gives the source template versions. So what I have to do, you have to see what this version template actually meant for. That's why the description is most useful in case to find out what exactly the version is contains. You can choose it here. If you're not sure about that particular versions, then what you have to do, you have to go and check the versions in the template and come here and again choose it. But the description itself it gives it is T2 nano, and my requirement is to create a machine with T2 nano. Just select it, and this is supposed for T2 micro, which is not written. This is the default one. Now I select T2 nano. Based on the selections, you can see here. Okay, if I go and check default one, you'll see everything is getting changed here. T2 micro, lamp SC and all. If I select 2, it changes T2 nano, demo SC and all. Good. I'll go ahead and check create launch instance. What it will do, it will launch the instance with a different instance type. See, the first version 1 created T2 micro, and this one is now created T2 nano. right? This is where you have to use the launch template. This is what the basic use is, and creations of how to create the template, how to maintain the versions, how to do that, I just explained you. But the template real usage will be done in the auto scaling. When we learn the auto scaling concept, right? That time we'll use this part. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, Ranjit. But how that subnet mask, like VPC will take the default VPC, or how it is? And public
Exactly.
IP address, all it will be a common default one.
Default one. So, okay. Let me ask you a question. What will happen when you launch the instance if you don't select anything?
The default one will be taken.
Exactly the same thing, right? Whenever you launch any instance, that if you don't select set of the networks or subnet or VPC, by default it will take everything, all the default VPC, default network, everything, right? Similarly,
Okay.
whenever using the launch template, also it will use the default networks. Okay. Now let me quickly, as it is not required, it's better to terminate this unnecessary. I'll pay for that. I'll show you one more thing. Let me just edit I'm just terminating this machine now. Okay, I don't need, I'm just terminating it. Let me just go ahead and edit the templates. So what will happen if I edit this template?
We'll have third version.
It will modify.
Yes.
If I modify, it will create a new version, right?
New version.
3. So
Mhm.
let me modify and just give version name, suppose dev template T2 micro, and also I'm giving it as like T2 micro, and suppose I'm going to put it into the availability zone A. I can put this server AZ availability zone A. Okay. Now what I have to do, suppose this is the descriptions I give, okay, here. Okay. Now let me go and modify this to put this one. Whatever the subnet I have not in my previous templates. I had not selected any subnet. Don't include any launch template. So if we are to put this in availability zone only 1A, right? What you have to select this one. That means this template, whenever you use to create or provision a server, that server will be created in availability zone 1A. Okay, so let's so give a name. Let me change it to 1A, AZ 1A, or you can just give a name like, suppose it is the region AP South -1A. So it very clearly says that this particular template will having instance type T2 micro, and the descriptions and the availability zone will be 1A. The template description gives it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create template version here. Our template is created. So if I go and check here, the versions will have here for 1 don't have any availability zone. For 2, I don't have any availability zone selected, but for 3, we'll have this availability zone 1A, but it's not displaying it here. When we create, it will come here. Suppose if you go to check this network interface, right? See, we have this subnet and it's done there, but if I go to the advanced details here, okay, anyway, it's not displaying it anything details here. It should display those things, but it's not displaying here. But let's go ahead and use this particular version to create a machine and check whether it is getting created on 1A or not. Okay, let's go ahead and quickly launch instance from template, and this template will be more useful again. I'll show you another one. Okay, let's go ahead and check the template quickly. So we have 3 versions available now. What is server? Based on the descriptions, you can see, yeah, this is, we need this server to be on availability zone 1A, select 1A. Now, all these things done. Now let's go ahead and launch instance. success. Now let's go ahead, check the launch instance. Okay, so it's now starting, and you can see here it is created 1A. Anyway, all our previous things also created on 1A by default. If you don't see, it's not us, right? Actually, if you don't select anything, Amazon will decide which availability zone it'll put it. It will put, right, whether it will put on 1A or 1B or 1C. But as we have selected 1A, so it has to create it on 1A availability zone. So it's clear, guys, about this thing, subnetting and all. Subnetting, anyway, the networking concept we'll learn later, advanced sections mid of the classes. Okay. Now, let me show you another very important things in this EC2 part, that is called the user data. And I'll add this user data in the template also. That's why I'll combine these two, templating and user data. So what is this user data? The sections, if you go to let me go to the LaunchTemplate itself. Let me go to the LaunchTemplate itself and modify there. Okay, before that, let me show you while launching the template, there will be one advanced sections will be there, right? In that advanced sections, what you'll see, there will be one user data sections also there. And what is that? Sometimes you may get questions. That's actually called the bootstrap script. That's called bootstrap script, or you can call user data, or you can say there could be a question comes like, if you go to the advanced details, right? If you go to the advanced details, you will find user data sections. What is this user data section? What will happen sometimes? You need some software to be installed during the boot. Once the server is boot up, immediately there should be some softwares need to be installed in your, or some needs to be copied, or something need to be executed on your server, in your newly created server. Then you have to use this user data section to do that. You have to write some script here which will be executed once the server is created or booted immediately, and it will be ready for you to use. That could be a question, right? In interview, they may ask you how you install a software when booting a server, when creating a server. Is it possible? They may ask you in different way, tricky. Is it possible to install a software during the EC2 instance creation? Yes, it's possible to install a software during instance creation. So how? By using, you can say, bootstrap script, or by using user data sections. That's called bootstrap script or user data section. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to simply add the script here or command to execute. Suppose it is a Unix machine, I have to add some Unix script to execute something. So what is that? How I will do that? Let me show you. So here in the launch instance, directly you can put it and select whatever the things you need to create and do that. Okay. Now, what I can do here, let me do. Before that, first let me terminate that instance, whatever was created. So you understood this part. So let me terminate quickly so that I don't have to pay extra for this unnecessary running servers. I'll just go ahead and terminate it. So by the time, okay, it's just getting refreshed. So what I can do here, if I go to the launch instance, just give demo bootstrap, something I'll give bootstrap, right? Sorry, bootstrap. and Amazon Linux 2, and select T2 Micro, give a keypad here, and select the security group, whatever things is selected here, security group, and here I can select it lamp SC. Suppose 1 second guys, I'll be back 1 second. So what you can do here, select the security groups. Okay, I selected it here, let it be there. So I don't have to do anything else. Let's go directly to the advanced details here. And the user data sequence, what I have to do, let me write a small script here. So I'll just keep Windows here. Okay, so what I need, let me install suppose one Apache server. Let me install the Apache server. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply use yum. Okay, before that, let me update the server. Okay, so yum update. Yes, next I can use yum install httpd server. Yum install httpd. This is the basic things I'm giving, and in our upcoming classes, right, when we learn more on that, we are going to write lots of scripts here. And so Kishore, I think Ibrahim can understand all this. So Kishore, can you understand these particular things? I'll just explain you a little bit.
Yes, means yum update -y means it updated all the
Packages.
things in the machine, and yum install httpdy means it installed Apache server in the.
So yum is the, what is yum?
Yum is the
package manager. It's a command package manager. Okay, and this line actually being is written for shell scripting. Whenever you're writing some shell script, you have to write this cbang line. So I'll just explain on this more when we work on some shell scripting part. That I'll explain all these things. Okay.
Oh.
For the time being, just see, and this command needs to be executed as part of the machine creations. Okay. Now let me just go ahead and launch instance. The launch instance is getting launched. So view all now. So instance is launching here pending. Let me remove the older one. Let me terminate this one. Terminate. Okay, I have a questions for you. How we can do the termination protections?
While moving up the instance, we have the option to.
So while creating the launching the instances, we have option to select to enable the instance deletion protection, right?
Yes.
Protection, instant protections. We have
protection option. Yes.
Yes, you have to make it enabled so that the accidentally deletions may not happen. If you sometimes what happens, why it is mandatory, because whenever you have some critical applications running, suppose some databases or something, and you don't want that particular server to be accidentally deleted by somebody, so you can just put that protection enabled so that it will not allow others to delete the machine. Okay, we already have seen that one, right? So
yes.
Now let me see, this server is now initializing. Just wait for a few seconds and let's see how it works. It's just initializing. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so let's see. It would have now completed. Let me just try to connect this server. Okay. So I have just I had used -9. User put it here. Yes. Okay. So wait for a few seconds. Yeah, we are now connected to the server. Now let's see whether that particular service what we had given HTTPD to be installed, right? HTTPD to be installed. Let's check whether the server is installed. Normal the Apache server home directories were www/html. If I go to this, yes, this folder is there. This folder is here, it's created. Okay, good, it's created. Now if I go and check the service is running or not, so I can use systemctl status httpd. So system is inactive, is not started. What I can do, I can just use sudo systemctl start httpd. Okay, now let's see whether it is started or not. Yes, it's started and running. If I go and just put the IP address here, hit enter, see our Apache website is up and running. The server is accessible, it's running. We did not install anything after creating the instances. So how it is installed? As part of the boot script, right? During the instance creation itself, it is installed everything, whatever we are specified. That is what I want to show you. Now we are clear about the bootstrap. Whatever you want, you can specify there itself. Okay, now let's put these things together in the template. Now you understand how the bootstrap script you can write it, or the user data, how you can use the user data to start this one during the instance creation. Okay.
Can we update later or not in that bootstrap? Can we update later or not?
Yes, you can update later. Whatever you want to update it, that means that bootstrap. See, that is what the use of the template here. If you want to update something in the bootstrap, then you have to update in the template so that you will create a new version of the template and the user data will be updated one. But here, as you already have used the launch instance, that will be a one-time use. So you cannot update it again. What you have to do, you have to terminate the machine, okay? And then you have to create a new one, and that time you have to update it here. Let me just explain everything using this one, okay? Now it is running, right? Let me terminate this one as we don't need this part now. Let me terminate it here. Now, whatever just Kishore said, let's go ahead and add the same things in the template itself, okay? So we have this launch template, and just edit or modify this template. Give a version like this will be dev, and I'll give us same thing Studio Micro. I am going to use Studio Micro dot or same thing. Let it be, everything will be there, and I'll just put it like this is for bootstrap script or install. I can say dev install httpd. Got it? Now done. What I've done, let's go ahead, let it be there, everything. And I'm going to focus on the advanced details here. Yes. Okay, user data. Go to the advanced section here. So what I'm going to do here, simply go to the user data. See, our user data is here. Okay, now what I'll do here, let me install same things here as well in HTTPD, but with some different details. Okay, now let me go ahead and quickly create one script, bin bash. Okay, what I'll do, same thing, yum object, hyphen yes, yum object, sorry, yum install httpt hyphen yes, and I'm just going to type something like echo. I'm just going to type some HTML command here, HTML, okay, and put it to like index.html, okay, and the same thing, I'll just type echo and just put it like h1 here, and then we'll just go ahead. So what I'll do here, h1 here, so I'll just put h1 tag here, and h1, and I'll just write it something like this, called hello cloud, something like just write hello cloud, give h1 tag here. I'm just going to redirect this to index.html, okay, and echo, I'll just put it on HTML index.html. Got it? So what I did here, simply I just echoing one thing, and which is I'm putting into the index.html here, and here I'm redirecting this output echo to this index.html, okay, and then what I'm just doing here, simply putting everything in index.html, okay, and before that, where I have to create this one, I need to go to that particular directory. So I can do cd var www/html, and to go this directory and create this particular file. Done. Now let's go ahead and create a new template version. Done. So template is now created. So if you go here, we'll have multiple versions, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 versions are there, and this is having install HTTP. Suppose you are going to use this particular version to spin off a server, to provision a server with the particular software installed. So what you can do, you can use this particular version. So let me go ahead, EC2 dashboard here, launch instance from template, and select this one, the particular version which is required for you. Don't have to do anything else. Select this finance app, the version, suppose 4, okay, all these things are launch instance, that's all. Now whatever we have given in the user data section, in the bootstrap, that will be executed. Now you understand how the bootstrap script works. Whatever things you put into the user data during the instance creation, it will execute those commands or scripts. You are clear, right? And these things you can put it into the template, and it will be useful. As Kishore said, whether we can modify the user data or not. Yes, we can create a template and put it here, all these things. Whenever you need to modify anything, you have to come to the template here, and there you have to just modify it, and it will create a new template version. So you have to use this one. I'll show you that also right away. Okay, let's go ahead and view launch instance templates here. Just check it, and we have these instances. Is now it will be running and initializing. Just wait for a few seconds, let it be fully initialized, because it will be installing the software and it will be creating the file, right? Just wait for a few seconds, let it be fully initialized, and we'll access the server. Okay, I'll show you one more template I'll create with one more modified user data. Okay, I'll put it there and we'll see how it works. Now let's see, let's connect this server and most probably we'll be able to connect. Okay. Let's go ahead and what I'll do here, SSH-i downloads. SSH-user at the rate, I'll put it here. Yes, let's see. If it is ready, then we'll connect quickly. So I will paste this one, just initializing it. Okay, we are connected now. Now if I do systemctl status httpd is inactive. Let me quickly start it. And this starting also, we can add this command in our user data also, right? Instead of coming and manually starting, we can add there also. Okay, I'll do sudo. Then now if I go and just put the IP address here, okay, hit enter. See what I given? My application, my software, my website is ready. I didn't do anything. I simply provisioned the server and the software and the required things are already there. I can see hello cloud, right? Now let's remove this and modify the template and add a few more things. Okay, so now we have the templates having 4th version. I'll just add to modify something in the bootstrap script or the user data sections. So let's def and install httpd start server. This will install httpd and start the server. Okay, something I gave a name, same lamp sg, let it be there. And I'll go the advanced details here, user data. Okay, and if you want to resource from the things, you can do that, or if you want to modify these things, you can do that. So to modify these things, either you can let me go quickly here, copy the things whatever is created in the template. Okay, I'll go to this template, use that particular version 4. Okay, and go to the advanced details, and here in the advanced details, let me copy this user data, put it here. And one more thing, after this, I think suppose I need to start the server, right? Systemctl start httpd. Done. So let me modify something here. I'll just add one more line in this section. Let's go and give S3 and that's a bit forgettable. Just know how to write the script. That's all. Then you can do that. I'm just redirecting those things to the file HTML. So what I can do here, I can write something like echo. I'll just put everything in the center, right? And another HTML tag called center. I'll put into the index.html the same things. Let me copy and put it here. I'm just a little bit beautifying this, okay? The text and the website, I'm just beautifying it. That's all. So you need to understand the concept is you need to understand how to write the bootstrap script. That's all. Put it everything here, create a template version. Then our new template is ready. So what we can do here, let's go ahead and launch another instance with the new template version. select the template, and we'll just add this 1, 2, 5 version. Okay, tab 5 launch instance. Don't have to do anything. Select the template, select the version, that's all. The rest of the things will be done automatically. So let's go and check these instances. We have already running this one, and another one will be in pending stats. Let's refresh this page. Yeah, this server is, and we don't need this one. Okay, let it be there, this one, and this one we have already our older application running on this server. Okay, so this is Hello Cloud is running. So let's see our other one. It started running. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so it might be running now. Let me just go ahead and check the server is running or not. Let me connect to this one. Okay, let me connect to another machine. SSH-I. Okay, so if everything is running, I don't need to connect this one. If everything is installed successfully and the create file is created and the server is restarted, if I just go ahead here, I did not connect to the server. I simply connect to the service. Okay, it's not to that system CTL has not started the service, I think. So let me connect the server and check whether it is started or not. Okay. So this user @. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, it's connected. Now let me check whether it is installed. Sorry, started the service or not. System CTL status HTTP. Okay, it's inactive. That means the last command system CTL start HTTP did not work. That's okay. That's fine. Let me start this one. Start. So, okay. Now if I go ahead and refresh this one, okay, there might be some issues with the user data. That's why the index file itself is not created also. Okay, and the index file itself is not created, I think. Let's go ahead and check the service is started or not. Yeah, it's running, but the index file, if I go here, cd for www/html. Yeah, the index file is there, but that might be some issues with file. Okay, it's not. It's just there might be some issues there, and it's just created HTML tag, and after that, let's check the template. What is given in the template? So if I select the version 5 here, like just refresh this page, and select version 5, and there you can find the user data what was provided, right? Select the version 5 here, version 5, and go to the advanced details, come down, and here okay, here is the culprit. I forgot to give double quote here. I forgot to provide double quote here. That's why it's just executed until this. After that, the script failed. Okay, now you understood. Here I should put double quote here to create this one. So this is what looks like. So you can easily now understand how we can create the bootstrap script or user data to install something during the instance creations. Also how you can templatize these things, everything put and use to automate your instance launch. Hope everything very clear and you understood, and there is a task for you today. Just do practice whatever we have learned, creating the template. Just play around it, just write whatever things, just copy the things. Let me just copy, maybe I'll paste in your chat. Okay, just keep it handy, and you maybe modify something and try adding it. Okay, so let me just rectify this also with double quote, or else it will not work for you also, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so let me
in the first echo you forget the greater symbol.
Where it is?
First echo HTML index.html.
This one?
First echo line.
Yeah, this is the first echo, right?
Before that index.html, there should be one more greater than symbol, right? So append it to the file.
One second. Let me just ping you these things. Okay. So what is this? Okay. What is that? This line, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What is this here? What is the problem?
One more append, the greater symbol you have to put, right?
No. Okay. So let me explain these things actually. So Ibrahim, you asked, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me explain this. I thought you understand this. Okay. So both of you actually, it is actually called directing the output to a file. Okay. And here actually, if you give only one direction here, what will happen? It will create a new file and add this particular line. And if you add a double greater than, what will happen? It will append. This one will create a new file because we don't have any file created. So I just created a new file with added this line. And the next one, what will happen? It will append this line, and this line. Everything will get appended. Understood? This will for append, and this is called redirection in Unix or Linux. That means we are redirecting the output to a file. This one is single greater than will create one file, and this double greater than symbol will append to the file. What will happen if you give only single here? What will happen? It will override this file with this new line. Okay, so we are going to use doubles to append.
It will modify the text.
Exactly. It will just
modify or edit. Yes.
Yeah, it will just modify it and add it. Means append to a file. So clear, Ibrahim? It's for appending. It's for appending, and it is just creating for one file. And you should, this will give. Even though you give doubles greater than, also not a problem, because there will be no file created. So it will create a file and append the rest of the things. As I don't have any file there, so I just created a file and then appended all these things. Okay, that's all guys for today's class, and we can meet up tomorrow at the same time. We'll have some other stuffs to learn, and meanwhile we'll maybe in our next classes we'll directly jump into the DevOps to learn DevOps. Okay. That's all guys for today's class. Let's meet up tomorrow at the same time.